Hey guys, I'm Natty, and this is my first podcast like ever. For who you don't know, for those who don't know me, I'm already getting nervous. For those who don't know me, I am a streamer, part time. I want to become a content creator. That's always been a dream of mine. And I always wanted to start a podcast. And I've talked to like a lot of people lately, and they've been talking to me about mental health. And I figured, that's a really good time for me to come on here and talk to you guys about mental health and how important it is, because I realize a lot of people don't have that person who they can talk to about mental health. And not only that, they don't have like, or either maybe they do have that person, but they're not able to come out and talk to that person. Or a lot of people did lose a lot of friends, especially during COVID. So I just thought it was like a good opportunity for me to come out here and just make friends with you guys, be that one person who you can talk to, and be that one person that can be a good listening ear, and you guys can ask me questions. I'm not gonna say that I'm a professional, but I've definitely gone through my battles with mental health so for years now, and I can definitely tell you that I know a few things. And right now, to where at this point that I am now, I can tell you that I've grounded myself. I've learned how to ground myself, and that's what's most important right now, to know how to ground yourself. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you like all the things I did for me to be able to be here today and just ground myself. So the first step is that we have to learn that when it comes to mental health, we're not alone. In my opinion, I think that's what's most important, because when it comes to mental health, as I said, like you think that you're alone most of the time. You think that you're going through these struggles by yourself, and there's nobody in this world who can understand or help you, because this stuff is on your head. And when you try to say it out loud, people make it sound like you're crazy. They make it sound like this stuff makes just no sense. Like, just stop stressing, stop worrying, like it's all gonna be okay. Like they say things like that, but it's because they don't understand what you might be going through yourself. And that's what's most important, I feel like, is knowing that you're not alone when it comes to your battles or your struggles or whatever you're going through. Everybody goes through something different. Our triggers are all different, and you have to find out what triggers you, what really makes you feel like you just can't, like your mental health is just down the hill when you hear this trigger. Our triggers are important to know. Even though they are triggers, they're important to know, because either we stay away from them or we learn to ground ourselves when we hear them. Because you have to remember that you can fight these battles. You can get through whatever you're going through, no matter how many times you hear this. It is true, and I will continue to say it because I've experienced it myself. No matter how many times your head is telling you, no, I can't, no, you can't, I'm not able, this is impossible, it's all a lie. Everything your brain tells you is simply a lie. Because most of the things that your brain tells you, it's because we have such an imaginative brain. Like, you are able to imagine the craziest things just in your head. You could be sitting in your room and you could imagine the craziest things. Like right now, let's say you could do this test. Like, you could sit there. If you close your eyes right now and you can imagine yourself in Disneyland, can you imagine yourself on a roller coaster? Can you imagine yourself in Disneyland walking around? Can you imagine seeing like Cinderella? Can you imagine yourself seeing all those things? The same way you can imagine that is the same way your brain can imagine really, really negative things. So when it comes to anxiety, people who have anxiety, like, you can imagine the crazy situations. Like, you can imagine, like, if I go out today, I will definitely fall. Like, I will 100% fall, and your brain is going to convince you that yes, you are going to fall. Even though you haven't even stepped outside yet, you already have that thought in your brain. Even though you know the path is super smooth and there's no bumps and there's nothing, but you're still going to believe, like, yes, I'm going to fall. So no, I will not go outside tomorrow because I know I'm going to fall. I know that sounds crazy, I know, but you can literally imagine things that are not even there sometimes. Like, your brain tells you the worst scenarios and then makes it sound real, but most of the time it's not real. And that's why we have to separate reality from your imagination. Not imagine, but imagination. You have to separate those two. And it might be easy, like, saying it, or it might be easier said than done, but listen, this is why I'm here to talk to you. This is why I'm here to be that person who can listen and understand what you're going through, because I do understand. So for a long time, I struggled with anxiety, and anxiety leads to depression, and I was very depressed, especially as a teenager. I was really, really depressed. I just, a lot of things I struggle with. My triggers were like family or like friends and things like that. It just messed up with my mental for a really long time, and I really wasn't myself. And I just learned how to ground myself like a year ago, like not even a year. Like, I learned how to ground myself and slowly, take tips from people, and that way I'm able to understand what people are going through. And that's why I can tell you from where I was. I used to think, like, no, I'm never gonna be able to get through this. Like, I would tell myself, like, like, maybe I will. And I have a lot of brothers. I'm the only girl. And I would always talk to my older brothers and be like, hey, like, especially my one brother, I would always talk to him and be like, hey, like, I feel like this. And you'd be like, oh, like, it's all in your head. Like, just don't think like that. And I'd be like, okay, like, how is it so easy for you to say that? Like, what do you mean just don't think like that? But when you come out of that state, I realize you're the only person in this world who can come out of that state, because it's you. You are in so much control. Like, you have so much control. But once you let those thoughts consume you and control you, that's when you lose control. But you have so much control when it comes to your mental health. You have so much control of yourself, your thoughts, everything. You just have to learn how to ground yourself and, step into that zone where you can be like, hey, no, I'm not allowing that to happen. No, I will not think like that. No, everything is fine. But I know it's a process. It's a long process, but it's okay, because you can do it. You need to learn that you can do it. You are able to do it. And you won't stop doing it because you are able to do it. And it starts today. It starts today. Your mental health becomes your priority, starting today. Like, social media can really mess up our mental, especially at this young age. If you guys don't know, like, I'm 22, and I've been on social media since I can remember. And when you think about a long time ago, they didn't really talk about mental health much, right? But at the same time, you didn't find like a lot of teenagers with like a lot of mental health issues before the technology came and all these like things came around and expectations and social media just like consumes us. Like, they didn't have the mental health problems that we have now, even though it wasn't talked about a lot. But if you talk to like older people, they would say like, oh, like we used to like meet up with friends and like go outside. Right now it's like, okay, you don't even have to meet up with friends. You can literally sit in your room all day and talk to your friends right from your phone, which is why a lot of us struggle mentally, because if you're able to meet with your friends, like you're able to like communicate and talk out stuff, it's different from sitting in a room where you can just hide yourself and just let everything consume you all at once, while you put a little emoji, like a little smiley emoji, like, hey, like, I hope you're having a good day, like, oh, thanks. So it's very different. And that's when we learn that even like just going out for a walk, on your hardest days, on the days that you feel like you're just not able to even get up from bed, getting up from bed and just trying your hardest to just go out and take that walk might just help you. Meeting up with friends, don't ignore that. Even if it's not friends, even if it's family, going to events, going to places with people you know, that's so important. Don't just tell yourself that you want to stay inside, because staying inside really will consume you. I promise you, because that's exactly what I was doing. I was just staying inside. I would not go outside. I didn't want to leave my room. I would just talk to all my online friends, and like, it consumed me. At one point, it really did consume me. I started to feel like I was losing my mind, because I was like, wow, like, do I even have friends? Like, do these people even know the real me? And then that's when depression starts hitting, and that's when you have anxiety, and that's when, because sometimes even talking to like strangers all the time, like, that gives you a lot of anxiety too, right? But if you have 1 or 2 friends online, that's fine, but like, also remember to go out, go with your family. If you don't have your family, go out be by yourself. Go out and get a $2 cup of coffee and sit in a coffee shop and just look around and just, just walk around, buy some coffee, buy a donut, buy something, and just walk around. Go to the park, look at the kids. Like, that really, is much better than you sitting in your room and letting every single thing consume you. And I want to continue on, but I don't want this first podcast, to be too long. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna end it here, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk to you guys more about more stuff. Let me know if you guys have any questions for me. I will continue, and I also love to give advice. So feel free to ask questions, and I will answer them for you guys too, and give you the best advice I can. And for that, I love you guys, and thank you so much for listening. Be safe. I love you. You're strong. You got this. You got this. You're stronger than this. I love you. Bye.